Hello, everyone. So the scenario that I was assigned discussed about it being like an early Tuesday morning, about 9:30 a.m. There was a majority of the employees were already in the building working. There was a few that were out working remotely, and just a handful that hadn't arrived yet. And there was two in particular who ended up going to get coffee right next door to the building that they were currently working in. And then about 10 minutes later or so, there was this low rumbling sound that was heard and felt, almost like a semi truck passing by. And it kind of just, rattled the building a little, not too much of it to be of a concern. But then about a few seconds after that, that's when there was this loud boom, and there's just, the building shook enough to have a frame drop, but not enough to cause any structural damage. But it was definitely felt, and there was people screaming outside, and there was this cloud of smoke that was rising and kind of covering the windows that were facing the street. So, this is a case where, an emergency situation has occurred, and, it is our job to keep the employees, have them stay safe from what has occurred outside. So the first thing we do is just making sure that all the employees in our floor are safe, and they are just check up on them, making sure that they're okay and that they are safe. The next is that we remove any employees who are currently, by the windows of where the street is with the cloud of smoke. Just move them to the core of the floor, the core of the building, away from that, just in case that there's any smoke that can get into the windows or the doorways. We want to make sure that the employees are away from that. And the immediate next step would be to call 911. We want to report what has occurred, or what at least what we have experienced, because again, we don't know what has occurred, we don't know what happened, so we just want to make sure that we make that report as soon as possible, so that way, we can get emergency personnel out there. And we also want to let the cops know and report that there are two missing employees, as they were out away from the building. They were next door when the situation occurred. So you want to make sure that we report where they were last going to, what they were wearing, and then that way we can make sure that we have the police searching for them. And unfortunately, it puts us into a more dangerous situation if we were the ones going out to look for them, especially when we don't know what is going on. So it is best to leave it to the police department and emergency personnel to check and make sure that they are safe. We can contact them, of course, call them just to see if they are okay. But as far as just searching for them, it's best to leave that to the police department. And again, just making sure that the our employees remain calm, because that's if they enter into a panic, then that's when it can lead to just people kind of getting scared and not knowing what to do. So we want to make sure that they remain calm, and in the safe location of where we are. And of course, employees will have plenty of questions. That's not something that we can prevent, but we want to make sure that we redirect them to understand that it's we're looking out for their safeties. Their safety is our top priority, excuse me. And so of course, we will update them as soon as we can. But unfortunately, in times of unknown, we just want to make sure that they are safe. And so we just want to make sure that they remain calm. And the next step that we can do is just check in with building security, just to see if they have any additional information that we may not know of. See if there's any alternate options as far as exits, safe exits away from where the street, where the cloud and all that is currently located. So just checking in with them and see if there is that safe alternative evacuation route. If there isn't, then the next option would be to shelter in place. And then again, just keep in communication with the building security just in case if there are any changes. If we need to evacuate safely, then we will do so. And then if there's any employees who attempt to self-evacuate, we want to make sure that we talk to them, listen to their concerns, and to just get them to understand that their safety is our priority, And so if they are to attempt to self-evacuate, we don't know if they're actually going to be walking into more danger, and put themselves at risk. So it is best to just stay in the safe location that they currently are now, instead of just trying to self-evacuate. Um, this is why it is important to have an emergency action plan, because it's when there isn't any plan and an emergency situation occurs, people will definitely kind of resort to their fight or flight option, to that instinct. And sometimes, if we try to escape or just try to find safety, we might be walking into a more dangerous situation. So we want to make sure that we follow an emergency action plan step by step in order to get to safety, whether it's evacuating to a safe location, another safe location, or sheltering in place, especially when it's a situation where we don't know what has occurred. All we know is that there's something going on outside. Maybe it's best if we stay in. So an emergency action plan will help employees stay safe and remain calm and try to stay away from that panic. Um, but yeah, that should be it. Thank you so much, guys.